Welcome and welcome back to the Whole Bucket and to another Friday Freebie feature. Today's Friday Freebie feature is from Michelle at TheJunkJournalStudio, and I don't have any concrete plans. I know that I want to make a suite of products, and I do believe that that's going to be snippets and a master board or two. So I'm going to try to get through a bunch of stuff today, but it's stuff that you've seen me before, or seen me do before. So we're just going to try to get it in a different kind of process and a different look. So over at the Junk Journal Studio freebie stuff, they had all kinds of things. And I actually have bits from 3 different freebie kits. I think it was 3. Anyway, it's entomology and foliage, I think. Botany. There are these 2 papers in 3 different colors. So this old green color has a graph page and a kind of a collage. It's kind of a master board on its own right. And then it came in an orangey yellow, or an orangey color. Alright, whatever. Words. Oh, so a lighter orangey, and this is actually orange. And then, that was one set. And then another set had a lot of bugs and, well, bugs and butterflies. And foliage, right? So this is a copy of that collage paper made really small and turned sepia. That's just for using tonight. This is one of the bug sheets, scaled down quite a bit, right? I think that was a whole full page, so they were pretty big tags to start with. This is just half of one of the sheets of labels and numbers. So she does everything in 4 sizes. So if you look here, I'll try and pull in so you can actually see that better. But if you look here, right here, these 4 tags are all the same tag. They all say Entomology Department, 28th Street, Vancouver, BC, Canada. But in 4 different sizes. That's the same for this and this. It's also the same for all these. Each column has the same exact tags in it, but it came in 4 sizes. I just cut off the 2 sizes, and I just wanted that right there. Let me back out a little bit again. Anyways, it came in 4 or 5 different colors. So it came in this orange color. This is one that I turned sepia just for my taste. This is a red set, and it came with, instead of the labels, it came in with little ticket bits with bees and butterflies. The green set came with some foliage tags, some butterflies, and some other flying bug. Ooh. There was this full sheet. I knocked it down to the size of half a sheet. There's that butterfly and beetle again, but some different foliage bits. This was the black and multicolor set, as you can see, some numbers and some more labels. And these labels are still the same labels as all the other pages, just different border colors and different sizes. And a card of bees. And this page was a full page, and I knocked it down to half a page. That's everything. That's everything I printed. There are more to these kits, and they're all free. They're all free. So I want to get some nature feeling going on with this. So what I've done is, hold on, let me get this envelope out of here. That's not part of this project. What I have done is, hold over the wrong box. That's what I've done. Hold on a sec. It's right here. This pile. Let's start with what's on top. I pulled over some fabric scraps and some ribbon pieces. I don't know why this brown ribbon was in the scrap bag, but it was. Poor orphan ribbon needs a home. I pulled out some of my favorite mulberry paper and a piece of tea-dyed tissue and a tea-dyed paper. I thought those would help along the way of creating that nature feel. Then, the box. The box. I cut out the smaller ones that I made for, I made these smaller ones for collaging. And then I cut out all the little pieces and I printed the big pieces. And what I want to end up with, like I said, is a master board or two and some snippets. So, a whole snippet set would be lovely. So, but how I'm going to go about this is really sort of boggling my brain. So, one of the places that I like to start is with this sheet. These are big sheets of mulberry paper. And when I do a snippet sheet, I think we'll use this one. It's more solid. We can certainly use this as torn up bits, right? Along the way, that would be fine. But what I like to do is start on a sheet like this and then pick a place to start. And how about we start with a grid sheet. And I will grab the little guillotine cutter and just randomly cut some different size. Whoops, let me get you straightened. There, that's better. I will cut some random size rectangles. Now, the problem I'm going to have with this right off the bat is that I don't like, if it's natural, I don't want it to have cut edges, but I want these to be kind of uniform shapes. So I'm conflicted, right? It sounds like it can't work. So I think what I'm going to do, let's leave some of that whole and cut off the white bits. I think what I'm going to do is just make them look old. So let's cut off a rectangle, something a little closer to a square, something a little, well, that one's really blank. All right, let's cut off something a little smaller again, something a little bigger again, and we'll leave this piece whatever's left. Throw that away. Do the same with these two strips. Throw the bits to the side and then just, whoops, randomly cut. Maybe hang on to the guide, because if you don't hang on to the guide, your paper will flop all over the place. Oh, better turn this and cut that end off. All right, there we go. Alright, one last one for right now, and I'll show you what we're going to do. Kind of big, kind of skinny. Let's do an extra big snippet, just because. Let's cut this end off, and I want to do 4 really small ones. So I'm going to cut this both directions, like that. Whoa, whoa, there, lady. And we'll just cut these like that. And like that. Now, the next part is rather fussy. And I don't think it's going to make for a great video. So I might pause and get these pieces ready for you, but I'll at least show you a couple. So I'm going to take the edge of my scissors and scrape up the bits. Whoops. I can do this as much or as little around every one. I am not worried that it tore right here. In fact, I'll just tear it the rest of the way off and rough it up even more, right? Corners can come off, edges can come off, tears can happen. The tear could have stayed too. A chunk missing is good and a tear is good. Whoops, see, they got another tear. Okay, there we go. So I'll do 2 with you, and I'll take them to the next level even, and then I'll come back when the whole thing is done and ready for the next step. Hack it up a little more. So there we go. So I'm hacking up all the edges, and then I'm going to pull out Distress Oxide in Vintage Photo, because I decided early on I'm going to do all of these in Vintage Photo. It's a very aged, nature color friendly color. I think I'm going to love Scorched Timber, the new and last distress color, but I haven't been able to get any yet. But someday I will get it, and I think it'll be great. But for now, I'm sticking with a classic, and Vintage Photo is a classic for a reason, man. You know why it's a classic? Because it works. It just does. It's yesterday's news at this point. But when you're going vintage, isn't yesterday's news exactly what you want? I mean, hello. Scorched Timber is definitely breaking news. Okay, and here's what else we'll do. Just because, I'm going to spray these with water. I should have brought, in fact, here, there's the cover for that. The cover for the box of bits. I'm going to spray this. That's a little more water than I wanted. So what I basically want to do is get this so that it's all going to fade and blend and do stuff in edges, right? And what would be better than what I just did, and I'm doing it, I did it for time's sake, the rest I'll do a little differently, is I'll make a puddle, right? And then just dip the edges. And then it'll turn some white, it'll take away some of the color I put on, it'll make some bleed in a speck. Who knows what it'll do, but the point is that the effect will be all over the place, different and unpredictable. I certainly don't want to bleach it all out, which is what happens to an oxide when you get it wet, but I certainly don't want it to just stay a static thing either. The last thing I will do for making these snippets this time is glue if you don't leave your glue bottle to glue itself shut. Okay, I will glue the snippets spaced out. There we go. With enough tearing space in between. So remember, I wanted these to be in nice rectangles, but when I tear these apart, they could get completely wonky, and I'm okay with that. Anyway, this is what I'm going to do. I'm getting it, all the bits and bobs treated, edged, and glued down to the paper, and I will come back and I'll show you what's next in just a second here. Hey there, I'm back. Didn't quite get a full sheet out of what I cut out, but it's a lot of snippets. Before I go on, I will say some business stuff while I pull out the next bits. So for my business, I am supposed to say often like, subscribe, and comment, please. And so I'm saying that. If you would be so kind to like, subscribe, and comment, that would be lovely. Any comments or questions or you know, stuff. Any ideas you have that you might want to see me try and see if we can learn a thing. I like learning. And that leads me on to what I want to say about other people. So Friday Freebie Feature is for me to highlight other artists, right? I don't have a digital account, or I don't have any digitals to sell of my own. But other artists out there sell their digitals, and they create them for us to use in projects like this in order to do a few things. They will make some freebies, and they put them out there. The reasons I've heard and that I can imagine are that artists really want to inspire other art. That's a true thing. And one way to do that is to make sure that people who might have access to a printer but don't have all the money in the world can try out a thing. Try out a craft, try out a product, try out a provider, and see how they like it. See how it works for them. So that's one reason to put out the freebies, to really get the art to people who have any desire whatsoever to create art. Another thing to do is to promote their products for sale. So they'll put out a freebie, an item or more. I've seen some giant freebies. Holy buckets, man. They'll put out some giant freebies, and I guess I can cut this one. So I don't see, you can't see what I'm doing off the screen, but when I'm pulling all these strings off, I'm putting them in one pile, and then the pieces in a different pile. So when we go to make these, everything is already raggedy, and I have piles of bits and pieces. Anyway, so they'll use it to promote their product for two different ways, right? They're showing how their product works and how you can get your hands on it, and hoping that you'll be happy with it and then want to buy the corresponding pieces. The other way it promotes their work is that it lets you know if you like that aesthetic. It lets you play with it a little bit, and if you can imagine more things or build more things, then you're going to go buy their bits. And last thing that I know of that artists do is celebrate. So they reach a milestone in subscribers or sales, or a milestone in their life even, and they will create digitals in honor of whatever that celebration is, and they will share freebies. This is where some of the larger freebies come in, is when somebody's celebrating an event of some sort. I'm not kidding. I saw a 58-page freebie the other day. You'd be amazed what you could find. Shocked, even. So, a lot of reasons you're going to find freebies out there. But I am not going to find every freebie in the world. So, if you know of artists that are putting freebies out there and you'd like to see me promote their stuff, go out there and get it, and do a Friday freebie feature for that artist, go ahead and leave me a message or a comment about that. Also, if you have already seen an artist that I have done, and you are like, could you make XYZ out of that instead of the ABC that you made last time? And I could feature an artist another time, or the same product again, and show how to use it a different way. So, lots of different ways that you can contribute ideas to this effort. I am not picky at all about what artists I feature. I like featuring smaller artists because I think that they deserve a look-see. See what they're up to. Help them get some flow going. All that kind of jazz, right? But the bigger artists are doing some amazing things, and they're bigger artists for a reason. So they definitely have things we want to pay attention to. So I don't think about it that way at all, by doing bigger or smaller artists in any way. I am not really doing choice by aesthetic either, although I did look at some freebies by an artist not too terribly long ago that they're not my style at all, so much so that I couldn't even think of a way to use them and make them that would be creative or different or anything. So I just kind of saved the page and put it on hold, and I'm like, okay, I just need to think about this one. I've never really backed off of a challenge before, so that really bugs me because I like a creative challenge. That's how we stay creating, right? But this one was a little too much. A little too much creative for me. Just saying. Feel free to ask questions, share ideas, and share artists that you know about and would like to see what can be done. Next thing I think I'm going to do, you know what? I'm not going to use these. I'm going to use these for the masterboard bits. So the next thing I'm going to do then is, I think, some of these. And the bits up there. So this part I think I am going to tear. So let's tear off some tissue paper swirl and make sure, if I tear edges, I want all torn edges. I don't know what that's all about, but there's a nice piece right there in any case. And it looks like it's a nice size for that card right there. Yeah. Actually, it's a nice size for that card right there. I want to tear off that top and put it about like this. So right now, these snippets I've said before, still is true. Snippets are just basically little tiny collages. Start with the biggest piece and work your way up to the tiniest bit. However detailed you want to go. I could stop right there. I could stop right there. That is a perfectly good snippet. You know why? It has texture, it has dimension, it has 2 layers, and it is a fine foundation, just the way it is. If I could cut this out, or I could tear it out. So it could be 2 or 3 layers, really. But it is a fabulous little base for then later, right? If I'm going to do a bunch of nature journals, later on I come with my little nature bits and I put a label on there. And I put, oh, here we go. I put a number on there. I don't know. I'm not good at this. This is part of the reason I'm doing this, is because I'm just not good at these labels and numbers and stuff, and I want to learn how, because some people make the coolest stuff. Anyway, okay, now I have more of a tag or a card, right? Because it's got some decoration on it. That's my point, is that this is a good base. If I took those things on, I've got an entomology journal that has a butterfly specimen in it. If I got out one of my other boxes of stuff and put up, you know, a viney flower thing right here, it's still forest floor. It's still, words I can't think of, but I think I think you know what I'm saying. I'm saying that, this is so generic, but still leans a certain way and can be used multiple ways. What do you think of that bit? I like that across there, right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can tell I haven't been creating in a while. My Yoo-hoo stick is drying up. Drying up, man. Okay, there we got one right there. Now let's maybe do some this tea-dyed paper. I got a really dark side and a much lighter side, and do the same sort of effect, I think. But I'm going to pull out this brown. Oh shoot, look, I'm going to do this. I'm going to leave these two straight and leave this curvy. Now that I say it, I have done this before. I don't do this often. It's hard for my brain to... It's hard for my brain to do that particular brand. But I'm going to put a hard edge on this. Well, as hard an edge as you can get on really wrinkly torn paper. And then let's see, is this too big? This is really too big for anything, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to tear this down and make two things out of one thing. Now we got a thing there, and we got a thing there. Let's see how this works. What about like that? I kind of like that. And then this one, how about there? I don't do tops, and I don't do tops down very much either. What about like that? That's kind of cool, right? Okay. Yeah, I think we'll do those two. So right here, and right here, there we go. There we go. What else have we got? We got some fabric bits. This is one of my favorites always for nature ones because it just looks like moss. So it's a mossy green dyed cheesecloth. And I want to stick it on one of these cards all squinched up. I think I'll put it on this one. And I think I'm going to center it. Yep. just like that. Make sure that you can see that light color through it. There we go, like that. Very nice. There we go, just like that. Beautiful. What else have we got? We have some brown and kind of cream color over here. So let's pull off like a single layer. All single layers. All the single layers. Okay, that's weird. Just thought I'd share that song moment with you. Oh my. Okay, I'm just ripping this to pieces. Well, I thought I wanted brown until I wrecked the brown, so now I guess I want beige. And I guess I'll put it down like some netting style over this whole one right here. This will be a very subtle layer once all is said and done. Just like any other collaging, when you get all the pieces together, you may or may not see all the pieces. It might be true for this. You might not even see it, but it might be little fringes sticking out, or it might create texture somewhere along the line. You never know. Okay, I am going to grab this scissor because it's super sharp, and I'm going to go just like this along the edge. So I know I'm cutting the same direction of the strings. The reason I'm doing that is because it's going to catch some and not other ones, and it's going to make it raggedy. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but I kind of like raggedy. Raggedy. One more. Nope, two more. Let's raggedy this up. And it's making a bunch of crumbs. And the crumbs can be fun too. Goodness sakes, come on. Raggedy. Good enough. And I like the crumbs. I'll just leave them there. They might get glued to some stuff. And then what do we do with this one? I think we'll put it right here. I don't know if the green is going to show through this one at all. But that's some nice edges, even if it doesn't. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Okay, I just ripped this one to pieces. We may have to do something different with this one. We might have to create a new underlayer for this one because it just got wrecked. It's either going to be end up cut off pretty exactly, or it's going to have a new underbit. There we go. Okay. Good, 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 good. Now, we still have a lot of pieces left. So, let's get a ribbon on one. Let's get a ribbon. Let's get a smaller ribbon than this. Narrower, I think. So we can put this on two, actually. And raggedy it up at least a little bit on both cut edges. Very good. Put that in the pile of string. And then raggedy up this end too, because it's looking a little too on purpose. And I am gluing myself to ribbons now. That's when you know it's a good day. When you're getting to the point where you're gluing yourself to ribbons. Okay, let's put that one right there. Definitely like that. And then I think we'll put the other one just right under it, because then we'll have a vertical and a horizontal to work with. Correct? Correct. Correct. There we go. And then this one can go, okay, must be time for a new glue stick. Good grief. You know, when there's only that much left, you can really just get a new one. I do like making sure I use all of it though, so let's just do that. I'm going to put it across the top again. Oh, I am living so daring these days, aren't I? Okay, let me grab a new glue stick. Rawr. Whoops, whoopsie, whoopsie, whoops. Okay. I hope they haven't changed this. The packaging is different, and it was out of stock for a long time, and now it's a different glue stick, so I hope it's not actually different, because I really liked this one. We're going to find out now, though. So next thing I want to do is take, I think, this one right here, and I'm just going to make a puddle and do some of this. So this is some fringe, right, from other stuff I've cut up. And I'm just going to create sort of a little, not a nest, I'm creating a squiggle situation. We have a squiggle situation right here. Let go of me. We also have a glue situation. Okay, let's do that. And then what about this? This is intriguing stuff. I don't even remember what it's called, but I got a large chunk of this stuff for free. And it's a natural, I think it's a natural wool. Something for bandaging of some sort. I honestly don't remember. Can you tell? I don't remember, but look how nice, how cool it pulls. So let's try something different. Let's try this little guy right here. And I'm gonna glue a spot. Let's see. If I cut a straight line through this, right? And then I glue this, I'll spread it out across the bottom of this, and I'm going to let that dry for a minute. And then we're going to try something that may be fun or may be stupid. Oh my, but I shouldn't mess with it too much because I'm going to screw up my own experiment. Let's let that sit there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 completely untouched so far, and I think we should do another ribbon bit. So let's do brown down here on a few, and I always like doing the left side. I work from left to right way more than right to left. Kind of get tired of that. Kind of want to break out of it sometimes, but it's just the natural flow of stuff for me. This one's too wide too, so I'm just gonna trim while it's on there, and then pulled some out and get it raggedy that way. And squish it around a bit so it's not so neat and tidy on the page. There we go. Like that. Squish a bit. It's always some good advice. If all else fails, squish a bit. See what happens. Alright, now this little snippet, I think, let's actually even chop this one smaller. Be careful how much we scruff it up because it's so tiny. But let's put it right across the bottom of this one. Whee! Tiny bit. And then this one, we can do something similar. I think we'll save that because I see something to do with that tiny bit. Let's do, I'm a little afraid to use these. I love this material so much. But it's really thick. So I think what I want to do is I'll find, here's one right here that's still got a bunch of fringe on it. And I think what I will do, cut off that bit. I don't know why I did that because what I'm going to do next kind of negates that. But I think what I'm going to do is cut this and glue it right on the skinniest bit right here. No, I know. I'm going to do it across the bottom. And I'm going to do it so that the glue line is right at the line where the fringe starts. So I'll have the bottom of the fabric be the new bottom of the tag, and the fringe will go kind of up into the tag. Will that create kind of a grassy kind of look? I think it might. So about right there. And I'm going to use different glue this time because this will hold onto the fabric better. And put a narrow line across the bottom. And then I don't want the grass stuck completely down. So I don't want that glue line. I don't want the grass to be too much in the glue line. I want the solid fabric to be in the glue line. Yep, just like that. When this is dry and done and turned into a thing, then I will fray the bottom or trim the bottom or something. But right now I'm just going to leave it. And I really think that's adorable. So I'm going to do more than one and see how different ideas will work with this kind of idea. Oh gosh, look at how gluey I am. It just gets ridiculous, doesn't it? Okay, let's do that one just like that. Again with the liquid glue. Again with a thin line across the bottom. And there we go. The fringy bit sticking up. I kind of like that. So what do we have left? That one's just those two? Just two more. Oh, let's see how this is doing now. So I thought if I glue it and let it dry a bit, I might not have let it dry enough, but since it pulls so cool, can I then create a fuzzy effect? No, the answer is no. That did not dry very well, and it didn't pull either. So let's try that again actually. Let's try something a little different. Let's just try let's just try a fuzziness right from the beginning. off this way. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is tricky stuff to glue, man. The glue is going right through it. It's sticking to me more than the paper. Oh my gosh. Okay, stick to the paper. No. There. Okay, I'm just gonna, okay, just leave it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Let's just do some more tissue paper on the last two. Because I'm running out of ideas and I'm very, very tired and I really want to go to bed. And it's way too early for that. But it's how I feel. So I should probably pay attention to that. And where are we at? We're at 46 minutes. What? 46 minutes? Okay, we're only going to get snippets done today. This might be the first time I use the same artist and the same kits in 2 different videos in a row. Because I really want to show how the masterboard part is going to work and then be a matching set. I mean, I'm sure you can imagine it. I don't really need to show that, but I think it's good. So I think that's what I might do, is calm down on the snippet thing. Let's see how far we can get, and then tomorrow I'll just leave this all sit here, and tomorrow I will record the next video creating the masterboards to go with this. That sounds like a good idea. Okay, now we can always go back to using this stuff up here for more layers. That goes with the paper that I just put over there. So the tea-dyed papers and all of the fabric bits and then all of these. And I've already admitted I'm no good at this. Seriously, not even kidding. I know a lot of people say that, and then you're like, yeah, right, you're no good. And then you watch them do stuff, and they're just amazing. And then I'm jealous because they're actually really good at what they do, and I'm still learning. Yep. But I find this aesthetic where you do the labels and the tags and the specimen cards and that stuff, the aesthetic is fabulous. I just love it. I don't like the way I pull it off. So somebody watching as I'm doing this might go, well, what do you mean you're no good at this? These are wonderful. These are lovely. First of all, if you do say that, well, thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment. Second of all, just because it doesn't turn out the way I had wished it had, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. And that's true when you do it too. That's true when we all do this stuff, right? Like, sometimes we really just need to learn to give ourselves a break. Because not everything's going to turn out the way you pictured or imagined. And it's still going to be art. It's still part of the creative process. It's still learning. And then, you know, maybe next time it'll turn out closer to what you thought it was going to be. But let your creativity be whatever it is going to be. And just keep learning from what you do. Just keep creating. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Everything is fine. Oh. Ow. Oh, ow. Okay. Do I want that one there? Do I want this one here? I like it there. I like it. I like it there. I like it. I like it. I like this butterfly apparently because I like it all over this. Oh, I like it there a lot. I like it there. Okay, we're going to stick with that because that's kind of in the cool department. what else have we got in this little box? Oh, stuff. All kinds of sizes of bits and bobs. You can see some of the numbers and labels and stuff I left more together because they're so tiny. They don't print this little in the kit. This was me sizing the stuff just by the way I printed it. So you can do that too. If you give this stuff a try, try printing 2 to a page. And then you get half the size they were to begin with. Oh, there's a page in there that has these little circles that I turned sepia, and then they're bigger than this, but I have only a few sizes of circle punches. And do I want a bug coming out of the grass, or does that just kind of creep me out? I'm not sure. Kind of like this. Oh, but that's not enough for right there, but we'll find more. We'll find more stuff here. Look at this. This is how tiny I printed some of the stuff. Will it even focus? It won't even focus, will it? It can't even really see. Poor thing. It's a bee. It's another bee. I think I have a spider that little too. And here, the butterfly tag. I have the butterfly tag that little. So what if we do a little tiny tag right there? And with that in mind, we could pull out that strip of little tiny numbers. But am I going to find it? I think this might be it. And there's no yellow, but there's some red with the there's some red in a butterfly behind the butterfly. So I'll pull off this little tiny red number 3 and see if that would make a cute little thingy. Okay, I'm not in love with that, but we'll just let it sit there and stew for a little bit. Ooh, okay. I might have to go creepy because the other little tiny one is a spider. And maybe we put a spider in the grass. I don't like spiders. I don't even like pictures of spiders. Okay, I don't know. He's sticking to me more than the paper. All right, what else have we got? We've got the bee tag. Let's do the bee tag somewhere. Do we maybe want to put him like that? And then I have an idea. See, this is another reason. I'm going to tell you another reason why this stuff doesn't go very well for me. I don't like putting things sideways. But those people who make these things do this. They put things sideways. And they'll do it, you know, over here somewhere, or over here somewhere, above or behind, or something. And it'll look good. And when I do it, it looks stupid. All right. Let's drop that for a second, and I'll go back to it because I'm not really sure what I want to do over there. I'm challenging my brain. If I move on for a little bit, sometimes my brain will come around and come up with something on its own. That's my art tip of the day. If you're getting frustrated or you just can't get an idea together, step away from what you're doing, the whole project or just that piece of the project or whatever. Just step away. Oh, I like that a little. I kind of like that. Let's see if we can find kind of want a big tag for the mushroom one, right? Like, can we just do something like that? Or can we move the mushroom over like this maybe and put this down here so we cover up less of the mushroom goodness? What do you think? Kind of like that. Kind of like that. I see a flaw in this. If you also see a flaw in this, I'm wondering if it's the same one. I won't say just yet. We'll get back to it. So you can tell I'm going through the stuff that I have, and I'm just laying out bits and bobs. Just laying them out, getting the concepts down, doing some not so fussy cutting of these pieces because I am going to ink the edges of every little thing. I'm sure that you are all shocked at such behavior. It's actually a little too big for there, and I don't like it sticking up like that. Okay, so I don't mind if the edges match, right? So you can see the ribbon is sticking up, not matching the edge of the card. Same with the strings and maybe this leaf, but I'm not really sure about that one yet. Definitely the mushroom going over the edges. The reason I don't like this one going over the edges of a card like this is because both ends are very pointy, which is fine if I know ahead of time that both ends are going to have an opportunity to be glued down. If they're not, that means they're going to stay free-flowing, and if they're in someone's journal, they're going to get caught and curled and damaged. So I wouldn't put something like that on right now. Oh, there, this one. Let's do this one. Because I like sunflowers, and he would go great with the bees. And we got a couple of bees going on. Okay, let's try that on this one because I love brown for a background for sunflowers. And that looks pretty spiffy. As long as I can put the stem on the ribbon that's sticking out, then I'm happy with that. And let's find one of these little tiny numbers again, maybe. No, let's try this one right here, this tag right here. May 23rd, 1819. Somebody grew this sunflower right there. Can a sunflower be that tall at that early of a stage? I don't think it can. I think that's not true right there. All right. What else have we got? We've got a leaf that really looks like autumn. We've got a couple of flower clusters that I'm not really sure I'm in love with. And I'm not really sure how I'd use them, but I'm kind of seeing something, so let's try. Let's try cutting out this so it's two separate clusters. So one thing that I could do with this is put two separate clusters on one card, right? Or I could have coordinating snippets. One with that big chunk and one with this little chunk. Whoops. Definitely made a mistake there. I'll have to make sure that that gets glued down nicely because it has a cut in it. You can't see it, so it won't wreck anything, right? But like I said before, if you got the little bits sticking up, they'll get caught, they'll get damaged. So I'll just have to make sure it gets glued nice. Now here, with the blue, what if we have two different snippets? What if we put a blue on there with the spider and a little tiny number? Maybe we can find a little tiny number to go with this spider. And then we could have a coordinating piece. Maybe like this. With a different label or number or something of its own. Oh, I don't like that. That's way too contrived. Way too contrived. Let's try that. No. No. Wow, I don't like the direction of this flower, no matter what it does. Poor flower. It's definitely getting picked on. There we go. I think I'll do it that way. And then, if I do it that way, I can get a small number in blue. Whoops, don't throw your scissors on the floor. That's not good for them. The labels, by the way, did come in blue also. I didn't print those. I'm a little sorry now that I didn't, but you know, another time I will. I'll do blue. I had a concept in my head when I was doing this. And the thing about not doing things when they're in your head is that sometimes they go away. And that happened a little bit. I wonder if I can just do that. Can I do one that's just a plain old label? Oh, you know what? What if I do one that's a plain old label with that little tiny spider? Entomology department with the little tiny spider. That's kind of funny. I like it. Alright, then can I do a bigger one? A bigger one here, and then have that just create further background. Then what would we put over this? So I have this flower left and this leaf. And that, we already did one of those. And I have these two beetles. It's really just too big, isn't it? Wait a minute, is this guy a little shorter? He might be a little shorter. He's definitely fatter. Let's see what we end up with if we cut him out, though. I could cut his little legs shorter than they actually are, I suppose. But I would really hate to cut off his little tiny legs. So I'll cut him as close as I can to try to avoid that. When I was a little girl, I disliked creepy crawlies so much that even if it was a picture in a book, I didn't want to touch it. And I would turn pages like this very carefully to only grab the edge of the page so I didn't actually touch a book, or I mean touch a bug that would be on the other side. So I'm going to look for that same tag in a different size. And I'm sure there's one in here. I just know there is. Oh, here, wait. Let's pull out a few things because we still have that. And we still have that. Let's see, what else have we got? Oh, look, I cut it on a smaller beetle. That means I can do another beetle. But I can't find that tag. I could swear I cut out a bunch of those tags. unidentified. Well, okay, this one might be too little, but let's give it a shot. What do we think? No, I don't think it's too little. I think that's too centered, so let's pull it down like this. There we go. There we go. That's better. Now let's do another beetle, since I found littler beetles. So I think that these were set up so that they could be cards just the way they are. If you wanted to do that, you could simply edge these, maybe put a number on top of the card, a number or the address or some kind of labeling if you like that and if you're good at it. Right? Let's see. He definitely needs to be right there because that just seems like it was made for him. I forgot about the dragonfly circles. So let me pull out a dragonfly circle or two. And just quickly, let's see if there's anything else in here that we're desperately missing and should be taking advantage of. Oh, yes, there is. Look at the foliage tickets, which can add just a fabulous bit of dimension. But I don't have very many of those either. You would be surprised how long it took to cut all this out. I did it all by hand instead of using one of my, like my guillotine cutter I didn't do. Oh, there's another bug that we haven't used yet. Okay. Let's get these bits and pieces used somehow. And then, oh my gosh, yeah, another long video. And then, I'll show you how we finish these up. Or maybe I won't. Maybe we'll let them dry. I will finish this up before I start tomorrow and show you what happened in the end, how we finished them up. I don't know if I like this. This is like too, it's too, isn't it? Don't you agree? It's just too, it's just too, it doesn't fit what I'm doing here, does it? I think I'm going to save that for something else in the kit I'm making. This well, that looks good right there. Let's do that. I think a dragonfly can be maybe there. I kind of like that. When I'm looking at this, one of the things you might notice is that this is stark white. This is not. This is covering some of the cool stuff. It doesn't look great. When I just say I like this, I like the dragonfly, the wispiness of his wings behind these wispy kind of lines, right? Sticking out from behind this little dot. Okay. Anyway, those are the kinds of things I'm looking for. So when I say I like it, so it's more of an aesthetic. I do know that it may or may not still work out because it's just a rough estimate of something that might look okay. And I have no idea if it will or won't. Can we do a double label thingy? What if we took this one up and this one here? I've never really done that, I don't think. I don't really like this dragonfly because I chopped his nose off and it makes me feel horrible. But I didn't chop it off terribly bad. Maybe it'll work. I think I'm going to cut out this moth or butterfly or whatever it is and use it without its little ticket. because I kind of like him for up here. For kind of the same reason as the dragonfly over here, is that I like the ethereal kind of appearance of it with the wispies behind him. Is there only this one tag left? There is only the wispy tag left. And I don't really know what to even do with it, because I don't like this, and I don't like this. I don't see any other kinds of bugs in here. Did we do this one? We did, right? Oh yeah, little tiny. But I don't want to do that. What about this? No, I don't want to do that either. I may be stuck on this one. I may be completely stuck. Or what if I did just this? Like I could do a little bit of a lopsided bit. And I could do a tiny bee on this one. And this one could have a tiny spider. Let go. Whatever. Okay, this is going to be a really long video, guys. I know what I'm going to do. I am going to finish up a couple of these so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish up all the rest off camera, and I will start the next video showing whatever happened to all of these guys. So, when I was saying this is missing something, I feel like this is missing a layer. And I feel like it's missing a layer of this dark green. And I think that this should go sticking out from behind the mushroom. It's thicker than I need. I only need like one layer, and it's like 2 or 3. And it's more than I need because I'm only putting it on about half of this card. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that needs to be sticking out like that. Maybe a little more. Maybe more like... Actually, wait. Here, pull this in a little bit. The balance is wrong. The balance is wrong, people. Maybe like that. There we go. Now I like that one. So let's get this one glued down then. I'm not gonna glue that. I'm not gonna glue that cheesecloth down. What I'm gonna do is put the glue on the mushroom. I'm using the tip of my glue bottle to kind of spread it to make sure I get these edges. And then I'm just gonna push this way into the cheesecloth. So this will bond all the layers together. And remember to have it a little more inset than I first thought. Like that. Okay. Same thing here. This one will also help hold everything down and together. And then the cheesecloth now, because it's not glued on the edges, creates some movement and some freedom in the snippet. It's definitely hard for me to say S's right now. Snippet. Okay. What else should we lock down? Let's lock this guy down, and then I'll let you go. And next time you see this piece of paper, it will be full of done stuff. Is this a cliffhanger? Ooh, tune in next week for the conclusion of Entomology Snippets. Dun, 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 dun. And then next week I'll come on and say, recap, right? Last week in Friday Freebie Features, Entomology Snippets. Only took us so far, left us hanging, not knowing what would become of all those bugs. Today we find out what did happen to the bugs. Okay. It's a cliffhanger. I also have to go because there is a kitty crying at my window. And I've learned her language, and she is saying, please come let me in now. I don't want to play outside anymore. That's what she's saying. I want to finish this one too on screen. I'm sorry. I did say I'd just finish a few. And a few is 3. So I'm still well within my rights. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I hope that when you're hanging out with me, that you are either fast forwarding as you see fit, or skipping around and watching some parts but not everything, or that you just have me on in the background and we're just hanging out and we're doing art together. That's my hope. Because that's what my particular brand of show is for, right? Just for kind of hanging out, doing art together. The only thing I don't like about it is that you can't talk to me, because I like sharing ideas, right? So I'm sharing my ideas, which I hope helps you decide what you do or don't want to do. But I like when I hear other people's ideas too. And when I'm recording videos, I can't be watching other people's videos, and I can't talk to anybody. I did already line this one. Alright, I'm going to go see if I can get my hands clean. I have some doubts. I'm left very colorful today. May 23rd, 1819. Wonder what happened that day. I'm going to look that day up and see if it's significant in history. Okay, so there's a few done. This one, and this one are locked and loaded. This one I added a little extra something to. These two I left them just the way we did them. Some may or may not, similar things may or may not happen to all of these. Tune in next time where we finish this up and create a master board to go with it. It's going to be awesome.